everybody, again my name is Baljan, and let's learn about financial risk management. Today we will consider about components of risk measurement systems, portfolio positions, risk factors, and VAR methods, the types of VAR methods, and stress testing. What does it mean? Components of risk measurement system, as described in figure. A risk measurement system combines the following steps. First, from market data, construct the distribution of risk factors and normal, empirical, or other, for example. Second step is to collect the portfolio position and map them onto the risk factors. And third step is to construct the portfolio VAR using one of the three methods: delta, normal, historical, and Monte Carlo. The last one is types of the VAR. About portfolio position, we start considering the assumption is that all positions are constant over the horizon. This, of course, cannot be true in an environment where traders turn over the portfolio actively. Rather, it's just a simplification. The true risk can be greater or lower than the VAR measure. It can be greater if VAR is based on close-to-close positions that reflect lower trader limits. If traders take more risk during the day, the true risk will be greater than indicated by VAR. Conversely, the true risk can be lower if management enforces loss limits. In other words, cuts down the risk that traders can take if losses develop. Next, risk factors. The risk factors represent a subset of all market variables that adequately span the risk of the current or allowed portfolio. There are literally tens of thousands of securities available, but a much more restricted set of useful risk factors. So, VAR method divides into two types: it's the risk factors and the portfolio. Risk factors includes information is historical data, modeling based on this historical data, and distribution of risk factors. And then, what about portfolio? Portfolio consists of portfolio position, mapping, and exposure. And all of this is a part of the VAR method. So the key is to choose market factors that are adequate for the portfolio. For a simple fixed income portfolio, one bond market risk factor may be enough. In contrast, for a highly leveraged portfolio, multiple risk factors are needed. For an option, portfolio volatility should be added as the risk factors. In general, the more complex the strategies, the greater the number of risk factors that should be used. So, VAR methods. About VAR methods, similarly, the choice of the VAR method depends on the nature of the portfolio. A simple method may be sufficient for a simple portfolios. For a fixed income portfolio, a linear method may be adequate. In contrast, if the portfolio contains options, we need to include non-linear effects. For a simple plain vanilla options, we may be able to approximate their price behavior with first and second derivative, delta or the gamma, and so on. For more complex options, such as digital or barrier option, this may not be sufficient. Once the risk measurement system is in place, it can also be used to perform stress tests. The risk manager can easily submit the current portfolio to various scenarios, which are simply predefined movements in the risk factors. Therefore, such systems are essential to evaluate the risk of the current portfolio. Stress testing. The Counterparty Risk Management Policy Group said that risk monitoring and risk management cannot be left to quantitative risk metrics, which by nature are backward-looking. This is why VAR should be complemented by stress testing, which aims at identifying situations that could create extraordinary losses for the institution. As shown in the yen example, VAR doesn't purport to account for extreme losses. Stress testing is a key risk management process, which includes first, scenario analysis, the second, stressing models, volatilities, and correlation, and the last one, developing policy responses. Scenario analysis submits the portfolio to large movements in financial market variables. This scenario can be created using a number of methods. And stress testing is useful to guard against event risk, which is the risk of loss due to an observable political or economic event. The problem from the viewpoint of stress testing is that such events are relatively rare and may be difficult to anticipate. These include changes in governments leading to changes in economic policies. Changes in economic policies such as default, capital controls, inconvertibility, changes in tax laws, extra appropriations, and so on. Coups, civil wars, invasions, or other signs of political instability. Currency devaluations, which are usually accompanied by other drastic changes in market variables. The goal of stress testing is to identify areas of potential vulnerability. This is not to say that the institution should be totally protected against every possible contingency, as this would make it impossible to take any risk. Rather, the objective of stress testing and management response should be to ensure that the institution can withstand likely scenarios without going bankrupt. Stress testing can be easily implemented once the VAR structure is in place. So, thank you for your attention and your time. Goodbye.